I've been having the urge to build recently, and I've decided to challenge myself by using the James Turner challenge. So what we have to build today is a townhouse that has 2 floors, is on a 30 by 20 lot. The owners are newlyweds that love holidays, but they're afraid of foundation, and they must have their outhouse. We're also going to be doing the optional challenge of using at least 2 round wall segments. So I'm going to stick to all those rules and hopefully remember it all. If I forget something, that's on me. But the finished build will be up on the gallery under user 0NTARIA, or Ontaria. So as you can see, I'm starting by building the shape of the house and making sure to get those curved walls in there immediately so that way I won't have to worry about them later. Personally, I prefer doing the exterior first and then furnishing the inside. It makes the whole process seem more like a process, and it takes away some of the pressure of being creative at the start. As you could probably guess from my channel name, I am Canadian, and let me just say that I don't feel that I can escape my Canadianism. I don't think that my accent is that strong. Especially more rural areas, their accents are a little bit more distinct, but the urge I have to say a, or more likely sorry, is so intense sometimes. Like, one time I was in an elevator with my friend, and it's not one of the examples I said, but we were on our way to a class, and as we got out, I almost said thank you to the elevator, and now every single time I'm in an elevator, I have that same urge, and I feel so dumb every single time. Speaking of Canadianisms, the Wi-Fi here is honestly so bad, and every single time it wants to act up, it's when I need it most. Like, I was in the middle of editing this video, and my Wi-Fi completely just cut out, and I lost all of the progress I had. The weather here is also really crazy. Like, we do have cold winters and everything, but the summers are, like, equally painful. If it's not sunny and 40 degrees out, it's raining and thunderstorming. I remember there was one day, it was really nice out. It was pretty hot, though. It was, like, 39 Celsius. And my friend and I decided to go and walk to the Quickie, which is a convenience store in Canada. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else. And we walked there and we bought some water and we just kind of hung out in the AC a bit because it was, again, really hot out. And then we decided, you know, it was time to start heading home. So we walked back, and as we were walking, it started to drizzle a bit. And we were like, okay, well, we'll just walk a little bit faster and then we'll get home because her house wasn't that far away. But as we were walking, her mom drove by in a panic and was like, have you guys heard? There's a tornado watch, get in. So we got in. And her mom dropped us off at their house, and then she went to continue her errands. And, like, not even 20 minutes later, there was, like, this huge storm, and there was a tornado, but, like, on its side. I think it's called a Dureco. It came through, and I swear the sky was, like, it was, like, dystopian. Like, it was so foggy and muggy, and it looked almost, like, orangey yellow. It was crazy. Once it passed, though, we went back out because it was sunny and clear out, and we saw all the damage, and we walked by our old school, and all the trees were knocked down and cut apart, and a tree had actually fallen on her neighbor's house, like their roof, but thankfully her house, and when we went to go and check on my house was safe, but my family were out away from home at the time. And luckily, they didn't get caught in the storm, but they were freaking out. Side tangent from that tangent, I'm really lucky and happy that I'm going to a smaller school now, because I remember when I was going to a school with like 2,000 students, I would never be able to get to class on time because they made my classes be on opposite ends of the building on separate floors. And people would always be walking so slowly or just stopped dead in the hallway. Like, there would be many times where my friend and I were walking to class and we would be running a bit late, so we'd be hurrying, and there'd just be someone stopped in the middle of the hallway on their phone. It was so annoying. I don't know if that's a relatable experience, but if you're one of those people who just stop in the middle of the hallway, like, just move to the side. You'll see me using some of the terrain paint here, and that's because these people don't like foundation, but I wanted them to have a porch or a seating area, so I was like, okay, I'll just use some of the foundation. And I have them separated, and you'll see in a little bit I start decorating them. And I really wanted to incorporate that this newlywed couple likes holidays, so I was like, oh, what if they're celebrating their marriage, you know? So that's why all of the decorations throughout this build are kind of like white and all like just married type stuff. I also had this vision of this couple where their neighbor, the person living on the red house, was like this older woman whose kids kind of only visit her during the holidays. So she also really likes the holidays, but she became kind of this like motherly figure to her. So you'll see once we get to there, she has like a flower arranging table, and I thought, well, maybe she gave them an arrangement for their wedding or something. So if you want me to decorate that house, I can also decorate the interior of that townhouse in the next video. Can I rant for a second about The Sims 4? Thanks. So I don't really play The Sims 4 gameplay wise anymore. To be frank, I find it boring, and some of the elements are a bit annoying to deal with, but I do build a lot, and I can't help but feel like I'm constantly behind on stuff because they keep releasing things like expansion packs and stuff packs like all the time. There's one like every month, it feels like, and I just don't have the money for that. I have a lot of packs already, as you can probably see throughout the build, and that's a result of some bad financial choices on my part. But in my defense, everything was on a deal or some sort of sale. But I just don't get how people are expected to have all of them. And the fact that they're constantly shoving them down your throat through pop-ups and that cart thing in the corner that's always flashing at you is so annoying, especially during gameplay or building. Like, I don't want to spend $60 on an expansion pack. And on that, what happened to game packs? Like, some of my favorite DLC has been game packs. The fact that there were wolves and vampires and all of the occults in game packs. And Parenthood is such a good pack, honestly. Like, it's not even funny. It adds so much gameplay, especially between your Sims and the child Sims, because before I got it, it was quite bland. And it has such cute build stuff. Like, I would go as far as to say the kitchen set in Parenthood is my favorite. Close second is the Growing Together set, which is funny how they're both sort of family-centered packs. One thing I am happy about with EA, though, is that they released The Sims 2 to be purchased as, like, an anniversary type thing. I'm not old enough to have experienced The Sims 2 during its prime, or even during that legacy sale that they did when The Sims 4 first came out, I'm pretty sure. But I always thought that the gameplay I'd seen online from people playing it was so detailed, especially in the animations, and because I didn't have that chance to get it during that legacy sale, I was so sad when I saw that it wasn't available a few years ago. I know people were pirating it, but that's really scary, and I'm not going to do that. So I was happy to just accept that I probably never get the opportunity to play it. But now that it's been released for the 20-year or 25-year anniversary, I'm so happy, even though I will have to save up money to get it. You'll see in like a second here that there's a garage next to the backyard of the blue house, and that is going to be the outhouse that was required. It's a little pool house, and I'm gonna be honest, I'd forgotten that I had to create an outhouse on it. But then once I'd made the garage already, because I was thinking of having a garage for like a car, I was like, oh, well, that's just where the outhouse will be. So it'll be like a little pool house. And as I'm recording this, I just realized that I have forgotten to add a garbage to this build. So if you do feel like downloading it, just keep that in mind. Back onto the topic of games, though. I saw that the Sims 2 release is available and updated for Windows 10 and 11, and I'm I'm kind of scared because Windows 12, I believe, I'm not sure what the name is, but it's the one after Windows 11 is coming out in the fall, and my computer is kind of old. Like, she's from 2015, and she has like a DVD drive, and she can't run Bluetooth, and she needs a she's just a bit silly, and I can't update her to Windows 11. So it's gonna be kind of sad when games start to evolve and drop Windows 10 and I won't be able to download them. I'm actually gonna probably cry, I think, because there are gonna be some good games that I want that I'm not gonna be able to play. And I know there's a way to fix it by, like, taking apart the computer and updating the hardware and stuff, but I don't know, like, anything about computers. I mean, you can, like, I played The Sims 4, come on. But the idea of even learning or trying to mess around with a computer or something electronic like that is really intimidating and scary. I don't want to mess things up, and I don't want to break something accidentally, so I would have to go and take that to a pro to fix it. But also, like, I have a bit of sentimental feelings towards my computer. I mean, I got her a couple years ago, but she's so cute. My whole setup is pink and white, and so she has Hello Kitty stickers on her that I put on, and she's got a little star, glitter pink star magnet, and she lights up pink, and it just works. And so I'll be really sad if I have to update her. So I don't know. She's so cute, and also the fact that it has a DVD drive or player is so. It's kind of nice because I have a lot of DVDs and I don't really have any other player to watch them on. So the fact that I can watch them on my computer is kind of cool. Like, specifically, I have a strawberry shortcake one in there now for my little cousin. But I'm not really much of a movie watcher, though. Like, I don't really have the attention span for it. I haven't even watched, like, the K-pop Demon Hunters movie yet, because I just don't really have the attention span for it, and I don't have the motivation to, like, commit myself to watching it, because I know if I try and take, like, breaks in between or pause and then come back hours or even days later, I will forget the entire plot line. But I am a lover of binge watching, like, shows. I think my favorite TV show of all time is Bob's Burgers, as you could tell from my first video on this channel, which is a build of the Bob's Burgers, like, restaurant and apartment that I created in Bloxburg a few months ago, but I posted a couple days ago. And I have rewatched this show so many times, and I have a couple, like, theories on it and speculations, but one thing I want to bring up is how Sidecar, the little baby that Critter and Mudflap, the two bikers, had in season 4 or season 3, has grown throughout the show within the past 15 seasons, from being a newborn to a full-on, like, toddler, like a toddler that speaks, that goes to daycare within 15 seasons, which is fair, like, it makes sense. But the kids, Tina, Jean, and Louise, who have experienced summer vacation and, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas multiple times throughout the show, haven't aged one bit, and they're still in the same grade. And, like, I know some people are like, oh my god, it's not that deep, but, like, it matters to me because this is, like, my comfort show, you know? I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but I do genuinely love this show, and it's a bit silly to me to see how time, like, interacts with the show. And I do know that in the first season, Tina had her birthday where she became, like, a teenager, but I'm not counting that because it was, like, she's been a teenager for the past 15 seasons. And I also know that, like, babies develop really quickly and everything, but I'm pretty sure I remember Sidecar, like, speaking, and that baby you saw, that was a baby that's over a year. That's definitely a baby that's over a year old. So they should have aged somewhat. Have you guys seen that, like, horse girl racing gacha game, Uma Musume, I think? and I know my pronunciation is bad, so don't come for me. But it's such a silly idea. Like, I wonder where that inspiration even came from, honestly, to create a horse girl game that's kind of based on, like, horse race betting-ish. Anyway, I've been kind of, like, obsessed with it lately, like, low-key, though. But it's purely because of the visuals, okay? I'm not really into gacha gameplay and everything, but I think the art is super cute, if not a little bit weird at times, with some of the shots, and I appreciate all the effort that's gone into it, like with the storyline and stuff. I think my favorite horse girl is definitely Vodka. I just love her character design so much, the kind of electronic, it's so cute. Apologies for the loud noise that was there. But as we're getting into more of the interior decorating now, you'll see that kind of throughout this interior of the build, the color choices that I made were a bit odd, and I do have to say it's not all of me, because you can see here for the past a couple of seconds, which was more like minutes in real time, I was struggling to choose a color for the walls because the exterior of these buildings is so colorful, like kind of already, with the deep red on the other side, so I was like, what's something that could match? So I lost the clip when the Wi-Fi completely malfunctioned everything, but I used a random color generator for the walls. And it gave like an emeraldy green, so you'll see that the colors in the house, in the inside, are like greeny. I couldn't match the emerald perfectly, so I was like, I'll settle for an olive. It's the darkest green they had that wasn't super blue. But I was thinking, like, what colors would go with this green that I found? And I was like, well, this couple is supposed to be they're supposed to love the holidays, so I was like, okay, what goes with green and kind of matches with the holidays? Okay, red, but I don't want it to be all Christmassy all the time, so I was like, okay, what if we go for like a boho sort of vibe, where it's like very not tropical, very settled, very calm, and so I was like, okay, olive green, a red, and a yellow theme. And I may have gone a little bit too far, I will admit. The kitchen is a bit much. However, I kind of like it. I kind of think it's cool and cute. And I just think this couple would be a bit eccentric. That was the word I was looking for. And this house so much like matches that almost perfectly. Another show I have been really getting into lately is Taskmaster, and I honestly wouldn't be watching it at all if they didn't upload all of the seasons to YouTube, which is so amazing. I can't think of another show that does that, but it's because it doesn't stream over here or broadcast over here, and there is a Taskmaster Canada, but it's in Quebec and it's French, and I can't watch a French TV show like that. Like, my French is not that good. But it's been a really cool way to get into comedians from the UK and New Zealand and Australia, because I've watched a lot of seasons from each different Taskmaster, like, shows, and they're all kind of comedians that I wouldn't really have known about otherwise, which is really nice. I think my favorite, like, cast and season, is the most Taskmaster UK one, like the most recent one. I think that one's probably my favorite cast, because they all just really click. One tip I would suggest if you're looking to get into building in The Sims 4 is to get used to using the Sims 3 camera, because it offers a lot more it's more dynamic than the Sims 4 camera, especially for building. If you go into settings and then I think camera, like gameplay, something like that, you'll find it. It basically just, it changes the keys on your mouse, like what your mouse does, and it is a bit of a learning curve at first if you've only ever played The Sims 4. But it's so much more dynamic. You can position your camera in ways you couldn't with the Sims 4 camera. I used to struggle so much building with the Sims 4 camera, but now that I have the Sims 3 one, it's just so much, it's a lot easier, and it makes the experience more enjoyable. So I think you'll understand now what I meant by going a little heavy-handed with the yellow in the kitchen. It definitely is a bit much. However, I think it works with the vibe, especially because the living room itself is a bit less, like, there's not that much yellow, and it's definitely not that, like, almost bumblebee color. But I think it helped bring the wallpaper and the, I don't know, is it masonry? The backsplash of the kitchen. It helped tie it together. And you'll see in a little bit, I forgot to add the stairs in, so I will add the stairs in and just pretend like it was on purpose, but it wasn't. So, a little bit of backstory on this couple here. They are married. They both, like, just married, like, probably a couple days ago. That's why they still have their celebration stuff up, because they love holidays and they think, oh, well, it's time to celebrate us. But they are planning to have a child. They aren't pregnant yet, but they are planning to have a child, which is why you'll see upstairs there's one room that's a little smaller, has like a little bit of baby stuff in it, but it's not really finished, and you can, that was purposeful. Like, a little bit of the wall is painted, but it's not fully painted yet, because they are just preparing, they're just getting things ready for when the time comes. Their neighbor is an elderly woman, like I mentioned, who lives alone. Her kids probably don't visit that much. That is my chair, by the way, just so everyone knows, it's not me, it's my chair. But she lives alone. Her kids don't really visit her. They visit on holidays sometimes. She does have grandkids, but she doesn't see them out often, which is why she is very excited that the new couple moved next door about a year ago. They're getting married now. They're preparing for a child, and they all, in my brain, they're all having like communal pool parties at the couple's pool. But if I'm trying to I'm still on the fence on if I want to play as this couple and this elderly woman again, and get into gameplay again or not. But I think it all depends on if I build this woman's half of the townhouse, which I honestly may, because I'm just psyching myself up more. So if you do want to see that, just leave a comment or something, and we'll see. So as we're finishing up the bottom floor, I kind of want to get into the subject of custom content and modding. I've swapped my opinion over the years, and I think my opinion right now lies somewhere in the middle. I think mods and custom content are a really good thing if you don't really want to spend money on The Sims 4. Like, that, it's a good thing to have access to that. And the fact that there's like CurseForge and things that make downloading mods easier is good. I just personally don't do it anymore, because I've learned to appreciate the fact that The Sims 4 is not, at least in my gameplay, I don't really want it to look realistic. I did when I was younger, and I would mod it so, like, I could have, like, a realistic pregnancy or realistic this. I don't see The Sims 4 as that anymore. As I said, I'm more of a builder now. But even gameplay-wise, I think in my mind, in my heart, I kind of want The Sims 4 to be, for me, I keep explaining that, but I want it to be silly and goofy and lighthearted. So I like the design aspect, but I don't know if I have them on this computer, but I have had like some what's the Maxis Match or Alpha, can't remember which one, custom content that I did love, but it's just a hassle of downloading all of it. A website to get good custom content though is definitely The Sims Resource, which has gone a little crazy with ads and ad blockers, but I used to use that, and then I also would use CurseForge. But CurseForge I find doesn't have access to like every single mod that you might want. So like maybe there's one really niche one that you want, I don't know, that helps make the restaurant owning better or something, or you know, that would definitely, I would suggest learning how to add those mods into your mods folder, and it's really not hard. But I think once you learn how to do that, it's like, if you want a mod, it's really good. I think the last time I modded was I wanted to experience like a peasant medieval roleplay, like something like that, and play as that. And that, it was really good for that. I really appreciated having access to CurseForge because it made it so much easier. You can kind of see my process in me decorating the bathroom, because I tend to flick between different rooms when it's later on in the build, so that way I can make sure things look a bit coherent and cohesive, like making sure that the towels are relatively the same color, so the beach towels outside are blue, so the towels inside are blue. And I saw a postcard and I was like, ooh, a postcard's kind of cute, so I'll put the postcard downstairs in the kitchen, or I'll copy the mirror from the kitchen so I don't have to go looking for it. It's just, if you think this video's voiceover is off topic or a bit scattered, this is how I work. So you're kind of seeing me map out the upstairs now, and the way the upstairs is laid out because of where the stairs were, because I forgot to place the stairs, and where the curved bay area is, it's a little bit of a weird shape for the master bedroom. I think the bathroom and the small child's bedroom are fine, but the master bedroom is a bit of a weird shape. So once we finish decorating the bathroom, you will kind of see my issues that I had with the master bedroom. And it's not that bad. I just could not figure out how to place the bed and the closet and the desk in the right way until a little bit later, but thank goodness everything's sped up so you don't have to sit through all of that, because I can let you know it was a good like 15 minutes of me trying to figure out where to put things. Okay, gang, shrinkflation is so real, because companies cannot be using the same bags and same packaging that they've used for years and then just change the little thing on the side that says, oh, it's this many grams. Like, that's not fair. You can't do that. You're tricking me. I don't know how many grams something is. I don't have a scale. I'm not weighing everything. I'm just looking at the size bag and thinking, oh, well, that's good enough. You can't, like, the bags stay the same size. The boxes stay the same size. And the products just keeps dwindling to the point where I swear, there's gonna be one day where you open a bag of chips. It's like a regular bag of chips, and you get one chip. Like that's gonna happen. I'm not even gonna say, oh, maybe it won't happen, maybe it won't. I feel like it will. And we're all just gonna have to agree with it, because what else are we gonna do? Also, I've been trying to drink I have a fake Stanley, a Fanley, if you will. And I've been trying to drink 1 to 2, actually more like 2 or 3 of these a day. And it's good, but oh my god, I have to pee all the time. I'm gonna be so real. Like, it's hard to drink this much water, because then I'm like full, and then I'm like, and water doesn't taste that good. So what I do is, and this might be like heinous, so don't judge me, I put like a drop of juice, and by drop I mean like literally just enough. You know how it has food coloring in it? I put just enough to turn the water. I use grape juice, put just enough to turn the water like a very, very pale purple, like almost a lavender. And it's enough. I just need some flavor, because honestly drinking plain water is boring. I drink a plain one of these, so I get to drink a flavored one that is barely flavored, by the way, because I have been for so long, just watering down my drinks, and I know that's I know it's bad. I know people judge me for it. I know I will be judged for it, but honestly, it's better than drinking a full thing. You know, better than drinking half of this. Just a splash, just a little drop, gets me through the day. And I did make the choice to distress the house a little bit by adding those like cracks and dust and whatever. I think it's meant to be a very old house, an older house. So I was like, okay, it's got a bit of character, it's got a bit of charm to it. So why not add in those little marks? And again, I have the walls in the unfinished baby room like partially painted because I kind of wanted to show that they were working on it, but they hadn't finished yet. And also I realized that there's like no TV in this house at all, so I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I put a TV up in the corridor upstairs because I was like, oh wait, there's no TV, and I don't think there's a computer. There may be a computer, but like they need something. And so as we wrap up the build, before we get into just kind of the tour of the house, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, for sticking through this build with me. Again, if you want to check out my builds more on the gallery, it is 0NTARIA or on Terria. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I hope I get to do some more builds soon. I'm not sure when my next upload will be, but it will be another build video. I have one in the works now, so thank you very much.